Welcome back, everybody, to the International Tennis Hall of Fame here in Newport, Rhode Island, where tonight we are celebrating the presentation of the ultimate honor in tennis. As I mentioned earlier, this evening, 2 inductees will become at the same time the first Asian men to receive this honor in their respective categories. Our first has been elected in the contributor category because while his outstanding playing career earned him 28 singles and doubles titles, his greatest contribution to the sport arguably has been as tennis's global ambassador. Let's hear more about India's Vijay Amritraj. With a smile that lights up every room, Vijay Amritraj is a true tennis renaissance man. For more than 30 years, Vijay has been the leading voice of tennis in Asia, popularizing the sport to more than half the world's population. In 2001, Vijay was appointed a United Nations Messenger of Peace. Vijay was also willing to take a stand inside the lines. In 1974, India's Davis Cup team reached the finals against South Africa. But Vijay joined forces with his mates, defaulting the final in protest of that nation's harsh apartheid regime. Vijay garnered 15 ATP singles titles, including 3 right here at Newport. And what other tennis player has on the same day filmed a James Bond movie and competed at Wimbledon? Vijay Amritraj, a 2024 International Tennis Hall of Fame inductee. Well, as you may know, Vijay has also spent some time in the broadcast booth over his career, and he has passed that talent along to one of his sons. Here to present his dad is a great friend and colleague of mine from Tennis Channel. Please welcome Prakash Amritraj.
It is such a tremendous blessing, honor, and privilege to be here today to introduce my greatest hero, who just also happens to be my father. I'd like to address Vijay's impact today from 3 unique perspectives that I have. First, as an analyst, his beautiful, free-flowing game on court, his style, it looked like calligraphy in human form. And when you couple that with the immeasurable impact that he left in expanding the game to reaches of the globe that it didn't previously touch, that kind of lasting impact, absolutely immeasurable. But I feel from my other 2 perspectives, he's even had more impact. For a long time, people of color, we felt we didn't belong, we felt we weren't good enough, and we were told we couldn't. I've heard countless stories from Indian immigrants across the world. A young doctor in the early 1970s here in Massachusetts doing his residency, how his white superior wouldn't acknowledge him, wouldn't really speak to him. And then one day he saw Vijay beat Rod Laver at Forest Hills on CBS. Started speaking with him the next day. I saw this inspirational young Indian kid. Are you from India? Where are you from? They started building a bond, built a friendship. He ended up becoming one of the most successful surgeons in the Northeast. I knew another man of Indian origin who once told me, Prakash, I was born in the UK, but I wasn't born British. It wasn't until I saw Vijay win famous victories at Wimbledon in the name of India that I felt that I truly belonged. And there was a kid who grew up in the early 80s in Los Angeles who loved movies. He wanted to be like the titans he saw on the screen, but he got called racial slurs in school and was told he'll never be anything more than Apu from The Simpsons. But he was able to see a handsome, debonair Indian secret agent help James Bond save the day. And he knew that it could be done. Vijay's life shows us why heroes are so important. He was a beacon of hope for a people who desperately needed to be able to believe in themselves, be proud and embrace the color of their skin, and who now know that the impossible truly is possible. Vijay crawled and walked so that we could run and fly. Thirdly, being a parent. It's the most important job on earth. It's something that'll impact us long after we're all gone. I remember an afternoon decades ago when my mother Shamala took my younger brother Vikram to McDonald's after school to get some chicken McNuggets. She parked the car. He left, went inside to grab the chicken nuggets. As he walked in, he held the door open for an older lady. Picked up his food, came back in the car. My mother looked at him and said, "Son, that's so sweet. Why did you do that?" And he looked up and said, "Well, I see Dad do it all the time." Parents lead by example, whether we like it or not. And as he gave his blood, sweat, and tears to this sport and to so many people around the globe, while keeping God, family, and India in the forefront, he still made sure that Vikram and I knew what it is to be a man, that we fall only to learn to pick ourselves back up, and that good will always triumph over evil. On behalf of my mother, Shamala, my brother Vikram, his wife Florence, our entire family, and all the countless lives that you've touched all across the globe, I love you, Pops. You're the greatest man I've ever known. Congratulations.
Good now? I told him not to do that. When I was given the news that I was going to be inducted this year into the International Tennis Hall of Fame, a feeling came over me that I'd never experienced. This was an honor not just for me, for my family, for my parents, but for my fellow Indians and my country who live around the world. My grateful thanks to the International Tennis Hall of Fame, the various committees, and my dear friend, Lakshman Charanjeeva, for starting the process. Elsie, thank you. It was this month in 1973 that I made my first visit to New England, to a little town in New Hampshire called Bretton Woods, to the Mount Washington Hotel to play a tour event with some of the greatest players in the game of that era. I ended up, after being down 8 match points, winning the tournament, beating along the way 2 of the greatest who've ever played the game, Rod Laver and Jimmy Connors. The following day, in the Boston Globe, the legendary Bud Collins wrote that it was India Day in New England. It is with great pride that I congratulate my fellow Indian and my dear friend, Leander Pace, who was in our BAT program in Chennai growing up, started by my dear friend Rajan Pillai and myself, guided by my mother in his tennis and his education and his religion. Leander, congratulations. And my dear friend Richard Evans, who wrote the only book on me and became a bestseller. Congratulations, Richard. I grew up in the city of Chennai on the southeastern coast of India. A very different India than it is today. Growing up with health issues at an early age, it became a real challenge to my parents to get me to be fairly normal. As my mother got me into tennis to overcome my health issues, she had 2 horrific accidents in her 30s. And now the real challenge began. These 2 ordinary people did extraordinary things with my life. They dreamed the impossible, flying blind, and set me on a journey that would get me here, to the ultimate honor in tennis. An impossible life story of a boy from 1950s Chennai. I miss my parents every day. But on a day like this, it's truly painful. They're watching from above, I know, with my mother saying, "I told you so." I would like to thank my first coach, Mr. T.A. Ramarao, who was also sick when he started coaching me and said he would make me India's #1 before he died, and he did it. He put the first racket into my hand. The great Pancho Gonzalez, who took me from being Asia's best to be able to compete with the world's best on the global stage. To the incredible Roy Emerson, who kept me on tour through the latter stages of my career for several more years. And my dear friend Gene Mallon, who coached me and the Indian team through our miraculous run to the Davis Cup final in 1987, only the second time in the history of Indian tennis in the Open era that India had ever been in a Davis Cup final. To all my dear friends from far and wide who have come here to spend this and share this evening with us, my grateful thanks. To my brother Anand, a big thank you to him. I could not have played as long as I did if it wasn't for him traveling with me. We won a lot of matches together. We lost a lot of matches together. But we enjoyed the world together. I'm delighted that my nephew Stephen is here, a new father, just 10 days ago. And my lovely daughter-in-law, Florence. Thank you, darling. My sons, Prakash and Vikram, the real jewels in our family, who, as they've grown up, they've helped me navigate through a changing world, who have unknowingly, perhaps, taught me to be a parent. They are the real blessing. To my Shamala, my wonderful and incredible wife of 41 years, I am truly grateful and thankful that we could share this miraculous journey together. You made the joy in our lives better than ever, and the pain in our life painless. Not to worry, we're just getting started. We're going to go the distance. To my fellow Indians in India and around the world, I can't thank you enough. You welcomed me into your homes, from the big cities to the small towns, and your growth was my growth, alongside India's growth. And you shared my joy and my sorrows with me. To everyone in this amazing country, I can only say, if your plans call for travel, come visit India. Come visit my India, so that we may show you the same wonderful warmth, hospitality, and generosity you showed to me when I came here 52 years ago. May the US and India continue their friendship and help unite a divided world. My dear friends, I am humbled and honored to join this incredible and exclusive group who have brought glory to our sport. Our sport has given me everything in life. It has taken me places I never thought I would go. It has allowed me to meet people I never thought I would meet. And it has given me more things than I could have possibly imagined. May it always be a part of our lives and always bring families and communities and countries together. More than anything else, I'm happy to say India Day is back in New England. Thank you, and God bless you.
One more time for Vijay Amritraj, newly minted Hall of Famer.